Everyone, I would like to introduce to you Dr. Patricia Larkins Hicks. She is the founder and president of OMG, which in this case does not stand for Oh My God, but stands for Outcomes Management Group. You will see her bio in the information that is on your table. And actually now is when you can open that information. I know that we've been keeping it sort of top secret during the time that you've been here, and now you're going to be able to access that information as Dr. Hicks speaks with you. What you're going to find is that Dr. Hicks is going to talk about her program, and it is something that we believe in to the extent that you all are going to be seeing activities relative to her program over the course of the year. Much of her program is about giving your best, and giving your best even when it's difficult, giving your best even when it's hard, giving your best even when you don't feel like you have much more to give. And I know that that resonates with a lot of us here. So I'd like for you to give a very warm welcome to the person that our president referred to earlier this morning, Dr. Patricia Larkins Hicks.
Thank you. I'm really very excited about having the opportunity to be with you today, and I sort of like to move about, so I'm not going to totally stay behind the podium. I want to thank Ms. Robinson and the team for inviting me to share with you today. When they told me about your theme, We're Stronger Together, I was really very excited about it because I'm really very passionate about outcomes, and you'll get a chance to see that as we spend some time together. When you think about you being stronger together, to me it means that your organization, Alvis, will be able to better achieve its mission and its vision and can really have a more significant, because you're already having an impact in our community, but having an even more significant impact. So if you could look to the person next to you and say, we've got to be stronger together. Yeah. Okay, can we have the next slide, please? A lot of times you start out talking about what you need to do and how you need to do it, but I want us to start with putting our thinking around why. And the reason I like to start with why is because when we understand why, it can help us to be more motivated to continue doing what we need to do. It also can help us to do it all the time, consistently. And when we understand why, sometimes it means that we might decide we need to change some things because things aren't working to help us to get to our why. So I want to start with my story, and if you could put that slide up, to get us in the mood for my why. I want you to listen real carefully because I'm going to try to get you to engage with me around some of the things that you're going to hear in the story that's going to relate to all the things that we're going to talk about for the rest of the time together. But my story is about an organization that I am affiliated with, and we're a volunteer organization, and we have decided that we wanted to really make a difference in the community, and so we're partnering with a school. And we're going in to work with pre-K students and their parents and their family members. And we want to make sure that we stay with them until they get to the 3rd grade, because we believe that if we do that, these young people will really have a better likelihood of being successful. So here's a picture of, it says, you may not be able to see it, but it says, welcome the class of 2030. So we're helping these children to reach that outcome. And this is our kickoff, and we're giving them in those bags, you see that's a backpack, and we've bought all the supplies that they need for school so that they can be successful. You see those little white coats, there's going to be a ceremony. We've got uniforms that we've bought for them, and in those gift bags, there's some information for their parents because we're working with them, and there's a gift card. So all that's sitting there ready for them. But the backdrop. We got to get ready, right, for that event. And if you'll see some ladies up in each corner. They're the ones that are preparing. You know, somebody had to shop. We had people that went out and shopped, looked for the best prices to be able to accommodate all these gifts for all of these people. And then we had some people who decided that, well, we can't shop, but we'll help stuff the bags. And some people came over and they were all into putting the uniforms together. And some people are putting information together. So you see, all this stuff is going on prior to the event. And then we get to the day of the event, and you see that table down there? That becomes really important because the day of the event, we want the parents and the children. We want someone from our organization. We want someone from the school. The school district is sending people to us. We want someone there. We want someone from the community. In fact, at each table, it's going to be like a little village so that everyone can see that working together, we really are going to reach this goal. So as we're putting those tables together, somebody in the crowd says, hey, let's make sure we've set up one table as a model so everybody can imitate that, because everybody was running back and forth trying to figure out how to set up the table. And then somebody said, well, where's my table? Because we had assigned, people a number to a table, and there was no number. And so everybody said, well, where's the numbers? Well, the person that was responsible for the numbers, what do you think? Wasn't there, was a little late. So we didn't have any numbers. We said, okay, we'll wait a while. The principal had asked us in 1 hour, can we make sure we could get this all done? Because at 5 o'clock we're going to start, so by 4:45 you guys have got to have it together. Well, it looked like our numbers weren't arriving when someone said, oh, there was some construction paper on the table and some crayons that were there for the kids. And somebody took that construction paper and cut it up, folded it over, put a number on it, and quickly everyone put numbers on all the tables. And at 4:45, guess what? We were ready to go. That's right. We were all set. Now, all the way over there on the other side, that looks like something you're used to, forms. And so here's a form that the principal told us, absolutely, positively, every parent must sign the form. Because if they don't sign the form, you cannot release a photo of them or their children. So this has to be done. Otherwise, no photos. So I was making the assignment, and there's this one person that I had watched that was really good about making sure we got things done. And so I asked her, would she make sure she collect the forms? And of course, she went about, and by the end of the session, she came up to me and she said, here they are. Every one of them signed, done. Yay, which meant immediately as the event was over, we could send our photos all out on our website and on the social media. So, I want you to think about that story. What happened as a result of us working together? Can somebody just shout out one thing that happened because we worked together? You said what? A successful event. Successful event, yep. We were on time, yeah. Teamwork. More people wanted to do it, yeah. Fun, yeah. Everyone was serving, yeah. United. Okay, you got it. So let's see the next slide, because I want you to take this with you. This is why I was so excited, because when you are working together, here is what happens, and you nailed it. More things get done. They get done on time. They get done faster. They're done in an excellent manner. There's less cost. There is better problem solving. I don't know that I would have ever thought about that construction paper and picking it up and making a number on it. The climate was energizing. You talked about it. It became fun. Open communication. People didn't mind saying, hey, let's try this. More positive feeling, a higher trust level. That's why you want to make sure you embrace this theme and you continue focusing on working what? Together, because there is going to be strength in your organization because you're working together. Next slide, please. So let's take a step now to what you have to do to make sure you're being strong and you're working together. It starts first with making sure that the right person is doing the right things. They're in the right position and they're doing the right things. This little diagram shows you all of what happens in organizations when that doesn't happen. If you have the wrong person in the wrong place, look what happens. Things go backwards. If you've got the wrong person in the right place, they get frustrated. Confusion happens. But here is the area that we tend to really want to look at. We don't just want the right person in the right place, because that's great. That one thing is good. We really want the right people in the right places. And that was what happened in our event. We had the right people shopping. We had the right people managing the forms. We had the right people setting up the tables. All the right people were in the right places. Now, the program that she was talking about, if we can go to the next slide, that I really want to introduce you to today is from my work of over 125 organizations. 50% of them were nonprofits like you. 25% were in the private sector like Nationwide and General Motors. 25% with the government, local, county, state, federal. And what I found was that when people and the organization stayed focused on 4 key areas, they were really strong. They got their best results. And there's my cute acronym. It's called B.E.S.T. And it is about each person bringing their best to the team and the organization. So can you look to the person now next to you and say, you got to be your best? Yeah. Yeah. Now, here is the thing. You know, we sometimes like to look at other people, right? And we want to blame them and, you know, it didn't happen because, you know, so-and-so didn't do it, you know, blah, blah. But we cannot control other people. I wish we could, but we really can't. And so when you spend a whole lot of time trying to control somebody else, it's really not going to get there. So the only person that we can control is who? Ourselves. That's right. So that's why if everyone in this room embraces this idea that I'm going to focus on me and I'm going to focus on being my best, together we will be what? Stronger, and you'll be our best. I love it. Yes. So let's take a look inside of B.E.S.T. Now, each one of these, they have an area that it targets, and what makes it, the reason you get the optimal outcome is because each one of those is driving a particular outcome. So when you're working on all 4 of them, you're going to get 4 outcomes. So the first one, if you look at B, it's all about bright. I had to stretch that a little bit. And bright is really about image. And when we focus on our image, the outcome that we get is attraction. So to get things done or to be successful for your organization, you need to do some attracting, right? You got to attract people to come to work for you. You got to attract funding. You got to attract customers. You got to attract partners. You got to attract stakeholders. And inside the organization, some of you might want to attract so that you can get a promotion. You know, you want somebody to pay attention to you so you can move up, move in a different place. So bright is all about making that happen. E is about excellence. And when we focus on excellence, we're really focusing on standards. And when we focus on standards, the outcome you see there is growth. So if you want to grow personally, if you want Alvis to grow, if you want your clients to grow, it's all about excellence. And excellence perpetuates growth. S, I love this discovery, satisfaction. It's all about making sure your needs are met and the people that you're working with, that their needs are met. And when that occurs, look at the outcome. It's energy. And to get work done, what does it require? Energy. What does it require to get work done? Energy. When you find yourself dragging around and you're not sick, you don't have any physical ailment, guess what? You're dissatisfied somewhere. And when I walked into organizations and people were, the morale was all down, it meant productivity was down because people aren't what? Bringing their energy. Look at that line dance. And I came in there, you guys were like going down that soul train, having a great time. That's the energy that we want to bring to our work. And then T is all about time. It's about having deadlines. And when we focus on that, look what happens. You're able to seize opportunities. So that's what B.E.S.T is. Can you tell your neighbor again, you got to be your best. So that's all cute. Y'all are probably saying, oh, yeah, okay. Next slide. Inside your envelopes, there is a B.E.S.T assessment. So if you all could just pull that out and pass that around to everybody, so everybody has their little B.E.S.T assessment. Everybody's got it out? Okay, so here's what I want you to do. I want you to real quickly, I want you to, everybody hold up, listen up for a minute, because I want to make sure you're doing it exactly right. There's a 5-point scale. And what I want you to do is to look at, there is an attribute for each one of those. So let's just say for bright, appearance is probably up there. And so what you're going to do is say, if I focus on that all the time, I put a 1. If I focus on that most of the time, it's a 2. Now, I don't think you'll have a lot of 1s because we don't really do everything all the time. So let's not feel compelled to make ourselves an all-timers. 3 is some of the time, 4 is rarely, 5 is I don't really think about that. We're not sharing this with anybody. This is yours. I want you to look at it because here's what I know. Each of you has your own best, and you need to know what your best is because we want to manage what? Your best. So take a moment and quickly hop through those. Don't spend a lot of time because if it's something you think about, boom, yep, that's me, or not so. Okay. Most of us are done? All right, so we'll go ahead and when we get to the section that you're not done, you can sort of pick up with me because I want to make sure I stay on time. Okay, so I heard a bingo over here, and I asked, is somebody done? And so this young lady right here with her Mickey Mouse ears said she was. And so she's already being bright and standing out. Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hit you. Oh, no. Hey, take care of him. Give her B. That's hers. Okay. I'm sorry. Rub him. Okay, so she's got her B for her best. So let's go to the next slide, and let's get with it right away. Let's take a look here at Bright. And I'm not going to delve down in all of these because, we don't have enough time, but I'm going to sort of pick out a few things and bring them to the forefront. I think we all know that appearance is really important. And here we're not just talking about what we bring as it relates to ourselves, but it's also our work and what it looks like also attracts. And so it would be nice if people would just want to get to know us just because they wanted to. But that isn't the case. So when people see us, they immediately do what? They start doing what? Judging, making some, we would hope not, but that happens. And so we have to think about that. And so we have to really make sure that for Alvis, if we have an image, a brand that we want people to acknowledge, then we got to bring it all the time. Because if we don't, and someone meets one of you who's not operating in that brand, in that image, the people who met that person starts thinking what? It's Alvis. You know, that's the way they are. When it was one person that they happened to meet. So we want to think about our appearance. We want to think about our confidence. I know you do this as you work with the people that you're working with, helping them to build up their self-esteem. And so we want to bring that as well because it shows on the outside when we're confident. Attitude, and I know that is one in your thinking errors and social behaviors framework. Positive attitude attracts what? Positive results, yeah. No one wants to follow a lot of negativity. Oh, you know, I can't stand that. I hate that. Oh, this. Oh, it's horrible. Oh, my gosh. Oh, that wears you out. So you really want to make sure that you're bringing a positive attitude. I love this next one because today so many of us are on the WIIFM channel, the What's in It for Me. And so we want to get off that channel and we want to get out on the channel of what's in it for what? Others. We want to look out because if our antenna is down, so I'm so into me, I can't see that you have a problem, that you have a need, that my coworker might be what? Being challenged today and needs me to what? Come and help do something because I'm so focused on getting my thing done that I don't have time to notice that somebody else around me is suffering, needs help, needs support. So we want to make sure we're alert at all times. If we can go to the next one, it's all about looking outside, making sure that we know what our stakeholders are interested in, what our community is interested in. We're staying focused. I love this next one about Bright. That young lady who thought about the construction paper looked for what? A possibility, a solution. We didn't stand there waiting, person's not here, person's not here, no numbers, person's not here. Someone thought about there's a possibility to make it happen fast and right now, using their imagination and creativity. That's what Bright is all about. So if we go to the next one, under each of these, the next slide, the next one, yeah. Okay, so here I want to, we talked about standards, you know that. I want to hit that third bullet because this is the one that I have found that most people are challenged the most by, and that's preparation. We tend to think we have prepared, but prepared means we have really thought about what? Everything. And so here's what happens in preparation. It has to start early. This retreat team started early. They didn't start the week before the event preparing for the retreat. How many months ago did you all start, Luana? About 2.5 months. Okay, so with everything that you're preparing for, you want to think about early. You want to think about having checklists so you don't miss anything. You know, my husband is the king of checklists, and so, we are getting ready to go on a trip, and, I'm sort of last minute waiting to put my stuff together the night before. He's in the early mode. So on Wednesday, if we're leaving on Saturday, he's already ready on Wednesday. And I'm like, why is that? I could just do it the night before. But what do you think happens? When we get there, I've inevitably what? Left something, not prepared, whatever. So I've learned early and to have my little checklist so that I make sure I don't leave something behind. So always having those checklists, always staying focused on whether we're completing it, doing it till it's all done. So preparation, there's a lot there. Continuous improvement is another one I want you to focus on because we tend to get really into liking to do things a certain way. No, this is the way I like to do it. And so I just keep doing it because I love doing it like that. But every time you do something, I want to challenge you to think about how can you do what? It better. I don't ever get afraid of anybody rating me on doing a presentation because I know it can always be what? Better. that somebody didn't like something, and I need to know what that was so that the next time I can do what? Improve so that I am at my best. So we're constantly looking at how do we do things better and not being afraid of understanding that it can be, should be better. Next slide. Asking a lot of questions is really also important when you're thinking about excellence, that we should really be inquisitive. Okay, I'm going to move to S, the next one. I'm sorry, one more. Yeah, okay. Now, with the satisfaction, there's 3 here that I really want you to really focus on. It's really important for you to know yourself. And so you really want to make sure that you really know what is it that I can do and what it is that I can't do. So that you can really what? When you know what you can do and what you can't do, how does that impact you? You don't get overwhelmed. That's great. Yeah. What else happens when you know what you can do and you can't? Yeah. You work to your strengths. Yes. What else happens when you know what you can do and what you can't do? Everything flows. Oh, I love it. Yes. When you know you can't do something, don't keep just what? Making a mess of it. And somebody else has to do what? Come behind and clean that up. Let's do what? Ask. Ask. There's nothing wrong with asking for help for something. Getting some new training around something. Letting people know. And don't volunteer for things that you know what? You can't do. I just love it when people, I've been in places where somebody says, I want to be the secretary. We had this in an organization. Never knew how to use a computer. I was like, oh, great there. So you want to make sure. And then finally, it's all about showing appreciation. Today, we just think everybody's what? Supposed to do it. How nice is it when somebody next to you does something, you say, thank you, girl, for helping me out. Thank you, God, for covering my back. So it's always showing gratitude and appreciation to everyone, and then focusing on harmony and how we can have agreement as opposed to what? Disagreement, because we're good at what? Fostering disagreement, but we want to foster harmony and agreement. Next slide. The other thing in organizations is really this one about resolving conflict. I've been in organizations where people have held on to something for 7 years, 10 years. It was there and getting in the way of that organization moving forward. So you really want to focus on making sure that you resolve those conflicts. And the last one is equally as important, is celebrating. How many of you celebrate? Celebrate your successes, not wait to the end. Celebrate, hey, I got through the day and I got through that. Yay, doing something to what? Cheer yourself on, helping you to feel good about yourself. So that's satisfaction. Great, thank you. The next one. And the last one is all about time. It's all about time. I want you to just think about the fact that today, we all have the same amount of time. No one was given more time than the other. We all have an equal amount of time. And so what's really important is that each day you have a blank canvas and you get to do what? Create your picture for the day. It's your picture and you get to create it. And it's all based upon how you choose to use your time. So you really want to think about, how can I best use my time? Aren't we being asked today to do things faster? Yes. With less resources? Yes. Deadlines that people want you to do it today, and it should have been, you should have had a few weeks. So time and how you do things is really important. So prioritizing becomes very important. Here's what I don't do. I don't wake up in the morning and open up my email and start looking at all the people that have started talking to me. Because you know what an email is? It's somebody sending you something that they want you to what? Do for them. Most of the times that's what it is. So when you open it And you do have to open yours, but I want you to look at the names and prioritize what? Who you open. So don't just open, this is the first one, next, 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 when there was really a very important one that if you had looked down, you would have gotten that right away and been able to take care of that and not let it turn into a problem. So you really want to prioritize. You really want to think about what's important, what's necessary, absolutely must happen, and time, when things are due, so that I know how to manage it accordingly across those ways. I also want to point you to valuing relationships. This one is really hard because we come and we work, but we really have to spend time with each other. Why do you think you really need to spend time with the people in your organization? It helps you to work better together. Yeah. Somebody else, did you say something up here? What do you think? Did I hear another comment about it? It makes you stronger. Absolutely. When we have that relationship, people will do whatever needs to get done when we have a relationship. In that project that I talked about earlier, there was somebody who I could call, and they stayed up with me to midnight to make sure that everything was thought through and laid out. So you want to think about making sure you have the relationships. Now, I know some of you, right, are disconnected. You all are not all in the same place. So how do we maintain relationships when we're not all in the same place? Communication, because we can still communicate, right? Right? How can we communicate? We can email, we can text, call. I love calling. You can one-on-one, we can still try to catch up with each other. So you want to think about, how do we take the time to find a way to not let the fact that you might not be right next door to me, you may not be right in the same place, but that we're together and building that relationship. Okay, next one. I can't emphasize enough about time is about balance. It's not work, but it is about how do we take a little break. So it doesn't mean we can just take a break in the day. We can just what? How about right now, let's take a break. Everybody stand up and stretch for a minute. Y'all been sitting listening for a while. How about a little stretch? Yeah, that's a break. That's a little balance. Okay, thank you. That's what I'm talking about. Making sure that you find a way to create that balance. The last one that I want to point out there is about focusing on the present, and it's staying in the moment. You know, sometimes we start thinking about what happened in the past and what's going to happen, and we can't control what. We can't control what happened in the past. It'd be great if we could control the future, but we really can't. We can only control what? Right now. Right now, whatever it is that we're doing right now, that's what we've got to stay focused on and take care of that. Okay, I think that's best. Can you tell your neighbor, be your best? Now, why are we going to be our best? Stronger too? Okay, let's try that again. We're going to be our best so that we can be. Yeah. Okay, I got to hear it from everybody. You got to feel it. So let's try it. We're going to be our best so we can be together. That's right. Okay, let's a cheer. Yeah. Okay. So now I want to call you to action. In your packet, I want you to pull out a sheet that asks you to make a personal commitment. It was all nice to be here. It was all nice to sort of listen or not. But now I want you to say, what am I? given this conversation, what am I, when I looked at my best assessment, when I heard all of this, what is the one thing that I'm going to do? I'm going to do one thing that I'm going to do that's going to help us to be stronger together. One thing. Everybody, I'd like for everybody to write down one thing that you personally are going to do. Just one thing that you're going to do. One thing. Has everybody got something down? One thing? One thing that you're going to do. I love it if one person would share their one thing. I think we have a mic somewhere. Is there a mic out here? Okay, great. Okay, here's a mic. Can one person share with us one thing that you're going to do to make sure you're stronger together? Here's the mic over here. Okay, excellent. Listen to the staff and the clients. Yay. Hey, I learned. I didn't throw it. Okay. Okay, be a team player. What does that mean? When you say you're going to be a team player, what does that mean? But were you the team player? So what are you going to do that's going to make sure you're the team player? Okay, so he said what he's going to do as a team player is he's going to do his best to help others. That's what he means by being a team player. Okay, I love it. I'm not throwing it. Okay, I want one other thing that somebody's going to do.
I'm going to encourage.
And let's hear back up here, somewhere up in here, up back out here. Yeah.
We're going to encourage our coworkers.
Oh, I love it. Okay, we're going to encourage our co-workers.
Thank you.
Can you give that to the person back there? And then one more over here. I haven't heard anyone in this section.
Can I drop
Back
the mic
over in this
down?
section.
No.
One person over here in that section in the back. One person. Represent this side of the house.
Come on, y'all, let's represent.
Okay.
Don't be frustrated. Who's gonna say it? Who's speaking? Bridget. Come on, Miss Bridget.
What are you going to do?
Collect more money.
All right, she's going to collect more money.
Anybody else?
Testing one. Can you hear me?
Okay.
You said what?
Stay positive.
Okay, stay positive. All right, great. Okay, oh, one more, yes.
Ask for help and need when you need.
Okay, ask for help when you need it. Excellent. Okay, I think we've got some good things that we can take and make sure that we're doing that so that we can be our best. So tell everybody again, you got to be your best. Okay, one more slide and we are wrapping it up. Next slide. Okay. Yeah. Oh, did I give you one? Yeah. Okay. So here are some things that I do want you to also know, that there's some things that influence your best. And so you've got to really be aware of this, because you could be trying to be your best, and that these are some things that are going to impact whether that happens or not. The first thing is your environment. Where you are is going to impact what you're doing. So you've got to take a look at your environment, and you might need to make some changes in your environment so that you can really be your best. I'm from Florida. I love sunshine, and so I have to be in a place where there's light coming in, because that gives me energy to be my best. So you want to think about your environment. Number two, who's around you? the people that are around you are going to influence you. So you got to really take a look at who's around you and manage that. We talked about balance, making sure that you take breaks, that you do things that nourish your mind, your body, your spirit. All of that's important. And the fourth one, I can't emphasize that enough. Communication. Words matter. And how we communicate matters. So in the morning, hello. What's the matter with you? You got it? How I say what I say matters. President Obama did a great job in teaching us with 3 little words, yes, we can. And it wasn't just yes, we can, but we got into the what? Yes, we can. So it's really all about what we say and how we say it that will also impact our best. And then I wouldn't be an outcomes girl if I didn't tell you got to measure. That you got to take a look at yourself and keep track of things, because that's going to also influence whether you're being your best. Well, I hope that you will go forth and over the year, you will continue being very focused on being stronger together, because each of you will commit to bringing your best to Alvis. So let's try it. We're going to bring our so that we can be stronger together. I love it. Okay, thank you.